if I imagine that I am not already connected to life and reality, but that I have to learn the next thing or meditate in a certain way or whatever it may be before I can feel that connection, that is the estrangement. That's the separation. See, there is no separation. You're alive. That's all this is. We're alive. That's it. There's no, there's, we're all in the same boat. We're all alive, all of us. We're all in the same boat. We're living in these fragile, frail bodies. Just one little cut here with a blade, and it's all over. It's just like that. One breath of the wrong air, and you've got COVID-19 and you die, like a friend of mine did. Now, that's the fact. And if we become estranged from that because we believe that we're immortal or that this life doesn't really matter, there's another life to follow, or whatever the stupidity might be, then we are estranged. And this is what Nisargadatta, you see, Nisargadatta, in my opinion, has been misunderstood by almost everyone, completely misunderstood. They imagined that he was talking about some kind of religious situation, but he was not. And he was very explicit about that. And he said as much, except people don't like these words. So these are words of his that are not often quoted, but I like to quote them. What he said was, "You are not in God. God is in you." So what he was saying is that Ramana Maharshi's idea that you were referring to, when you go inward, you find God. Nisargadatta was saying, no, no, no. God is an idea in your mind. You, the living you, is much larger than any idea. It's larger than God. It's larger than non-duality. It's larger than meditation. There's a you that's here right now, whether you believe in God or you don't, whether you meditate or you don't, whether you are a good person or a bad person by society's standards. You're here. You're connected. You're connected up. And one day when you stop breathing, that'll be the end of the connection, in my opinion, in my view. And so this spirituality game is very simple. As soon as you realize that you are a human being, an animal with a good brain, it's all over. No more spirituality. We don't have spirituality here and then a barbed wire fence down the middle, and over here we've got all the rest of the junk, the football players and the partiers, and no, no, no. That is a split. And yet all these wise people you're quoting are saying there is no split, where it's all one. So if it's all one, why is there spirituality, and why is there the spiritual and the profane? Where does that idea come from? One thing is spiritual and one thing isn't. It's spiritual to pray, but it's not spiritual to masturbate. Really? Who says so? Maybe I have a great spiritual experience when I have an self-inflicted orgasm. It might be the best thing I've had all day. You know, Woody Allen said, "I'm all for masturbation. It's sex with someone I love." I'm not a big masturbator, especially not at 75. If I get an erection, I don't want to waste it on that. But, all right, it'll happen to you. but I like to use masturbation as a opening to this understanding, because it's something that most people do, and most people who do it feel guilty about it. So it's definitely not in the spiritual category. We've got spirituality over here, and then we've got all this stuff, drugs and drinking and running around with women and masturbation and whatever it is. The mind of Clover sees no division between the spiritual and the profane. It doesn't judge in that way. It understands that things are as they are and cannot be any different in this moment. When you judge, you're saying implicitly, this moment should be different, and it could be, except it's somebody's fault that it isn't. See, somebody fucked up. Otherwise, everything would be perfect. No. No.